Good morning. It's 6:11, and we could not start the morning out without hearing a little bit of this.
That's got to be. There's never been like a half-court heave, right, to win the championship?
Not that I ever remember.
I don't remember that. That's got to be. It's got to be the best finish. And I'm so mad because it was the second half, and I said, I didn't watch any of the game, so I'm just going to go to bed.
Game didn't start until just after 9:30.
Yeah, it's crazy.
At least the women tonight, Syracuse playing UConn tonight. That will start at 8:30. Tip-off is at 8:30. I mean, that's a little more manageable, but why 9:30?
I guess the thought is always that, okay, it's 9:30 here, it's 6:30 on the West Coast, but I mean,
yeah, I guess.
I think anything after 5, if you're a West Coast, because you're used to that anyway. Like Sunday morning sports for football, you wake up, there's games on at
early
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So you're accustomed to that. If that game starts at 5:30 out there, 5 o'clock even, I think that's okay.
And of course, Villanova with that huge win over the weekend just shows you over Oklahoma, right? Mm-hmm. It shows you that, and I mean, Oklahoma's not a bad team, but it shows you the emotions of college basketball. And but last night it was when it all clicks on all cylinders was last night, where both teams are hot, both teams are on. And here the Chris Jenkins from Villanova talks about winning the game last. So what else do we have today? We've got a lot to talk about. The hospital in the news, and of course it has passed, and it is going downtown, and that cannot be good news if you're Jim Brock. Andrew, any luck on reaching Mr. Brock here this morning?
Not yet.
He's in the OD today, and he would like answers. And I'm assuming everybody would like certain answers, like where exactly is it going to go, which buildings are going to be taken, how much are people going to be paid. There are a lot of questions. And Brock wants even further, like what other locations did you look at, and why is this better than the other? At the end of the day, even though there's a lot of money going into this, it gets tricky because it's still a private deal, right? At the end of the day.
Right.
Because they've got to come up with the other half of the money, at the very least, which is private funds.
It is a private deal. I would say, though, a hospital is different than any other business, right? I mean, it's not like a Walmart or something. I mean, it's there to serve the public. I guess you could say that about Walmart, too, but it is, to me, it's a different thing.
It really serves.
Well, don't we all really know what the reason is? I mean, what the governor says goes. I mean, that's pretty obvious thing.
Why is that so important to be downtown? Why does a hospital have to go downtown?
I think because it instantly, within 5 years, transforms that very difficult part of downtown. Period. I think it's a huge plus for downtown. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. But that, to me, is the reason. Whether you agree or not, that, I think, is the reason, right? I mean,
you're absolutely
going
right.
to transform downtown, and if you were to use private funds and private investment to do that, it would take you decades to get it done.
Not only that, but there is a whole overall picture that, and, even when we spoke with Senator Griffo and Assemblyman Brindisi yesterday, they were alluding to this. There is a big picture for this area, and that is part of what's happening with this big picture, whether it's nano, the education, the STEM funding at MVC. All of that is part of one big picture, and the hospital is a huge part of that picture.
And the portrayal has been that this has been some big secret, and I don't really believe that that's the case. We'll find out really next week when the Mohawk Valley Health, it's the Mohawk Valley Health Systems. I'm gonna have a tough time today because I'm on some medication. Although I kind of have a tough time with that every day, to be honest with you.
Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah. So they're going to have a press conference next week where they're going to answer questions. They're going to have to answer some questions. So I think that'll be an interesting time. But the decision has been made. That's where it is going. And I don't think there's any question as to why they want it down there. I don't think there's what other reason would it be other than, yes, it's very accessible to Route 12 and to the Thruway. There's a great accessibility from the north to the south, east to the west. But at the same time, I really think that it's all about that transformation of downtown.
And so is the arterial project, which has been in the works for how many years, right?
I was talking to a law enforcement, somebody from law enforcement, and they brought up an interesting point about having the benefits of, from their perspective, of having the hospital downtown. Utica has more of a manpower with regard to having a police presence down there, whereas the New Hartford municipality doesn't really have that. So if they were to build a hospital of that, that's going to serve that area on the existing location, it would be very difficult for New Hartford and other municipalities to have law enforcement elsewhere because a lot of the focus would have to be at the hospital.
That's a good point, Andrew.
There's another interesting thing of all of this, and be watching, and I kind of wonder what's going to happen. For this to happen, some have said that it's going to really take out the Utica Police Department. And if that was the case, because it's an older building, there's been talk about maybe the need for remodeling or maybe the need for a completely new building. Is it possible that when this is all said and done, we may be looking at a new police station, too? Don't be surprised if you don't see that proposal coming up as part of this, because the architects still have to come in and finish up their design as to what buildings get taken down and what it looks like. So that's still to come. So we'll see. Derek Bard is about to experience something pretty amazing.
This is awesome.
He is going to be playing, of course, in the Masters, which gets underway this week. And he's on the air this morning. What time? 7:00?
About 10 after 7.
10 after 7 o'clock.
Wow.
So, and what an experience that is. When you talk to, I mean, I think I saw if you saw the thing on 60 Minutes the other night. I can't remember who was on, to be honest with you. There'll be a lot of that today. Did I mention I'm on medication? Okay. But the those that have played at the Masters year in and year out talk about Augusta as being just the greatest place to play. Mm-hmm. The colors, the experience, the challenge, the diversity of the course, and then the experience of all of it, just the fanfare of it all. Those are veterans. Those are people who have been there year in and year out. This is a kid and his brother who's in high school who's caddying for him, right? It's his brother that's going to caddy for him?
He's still in New Hartford.
He's a senior at New Hartford. Mm-hmm. For God's sakes, they're going to experience that this year. Is that not incredible? Pretty amazing. We'll speak with him coming up later on. And also, there is a Wisconsin primary going on today. It's a biggie. And as of right now, Ted Cruz was in this. One poll has him up by 10 points, another by only 5. So Trump is saying he might be making a bit of a comeback. But Jack Cassidy is a local Donald Trump supporter. They're trying to bring Donald Trump here to the Utica-Rome area for the New York primary, and he's coming on today. The question is, will Donald Trump come to Central New York? 6:19, make it 6:20. Here's Christine with an update